Hello and welcome back to Making Mannequin Heads into Planters, episode 40 something. I hope you had a great day and I hope you're having a great day. And I just went up, if you saw the last episode, this is about 20 minutes later. I had to go up and help make dinner and just the, what is it called? Cauliflower tots. Yum, they're so good. Especially the way Larry prepares them. So all I did was have to make them into tots and put them in the oven. So this episode will be a little bit shorter, but I wanted to use up the paint that I have while I've got a chance. So I did go through before Larry called me and got the rest of these good little guys browned up. So with the dark brown, which is called coffee bean, I went through, got the rest of those spikies in the front just brown. So as you can tell, the back ones, see how they have the three colors? Yes. And the veining came out very good. I really like it. It looks very 3D-y, which is what I kind of wanted. I wanted you to look at a distance and you go, ooh. And that's what I want, is the ooh. So I went over all of these also with the lighter color at the tips. I got the base brown done and the lighter as well. So now what we're going to do is we are going to, this is drying pretty well. And the browning, the lighter brown at the tips is sort of that ombre effect is wonderful and looks good to me. So with this same brush, it's this wider brush, synthetic bristle brush, if you can see that. It's a nice brush, nice and soft, but a little bit firm. So it's not too soft that it's going to be just like a watercolor brush. For me are very difficult because they are so soft. And then I'm gonna go in, and next thing is I'm using the Deco Art metallic, dazzling metallics, blah, blah. There we go, if you can see that. Metallic acrylic paint, and this is bright brass, which is what I want. I want the bright brass because it just comes out looking fabulously gold. And I'm gonna put this at the tips. So this is going to be down at the ends, and it comes out really nice and shiny, which is really cool. I really, really, really like. So this, what happens is this ombre effect goes from the dark brown at the base to the medium brown, or the, what is it called? The brown sugar. I love the name of that paint. Goes to brown sugar, and then it goes to the orange at the angled tips. Now let's talk about those angled tips again. I don't sound right. So why did I angle the tips? Because I wanted to give them a real dynamic, oh, I forgot the gold on this one. When you look at them, I want that the ends to be very dynamically what do I want to say? Angled. Well, I want them to have a different dimension than just a blunt end. That's what I'm trying to say. So as I'm going through these, turn the head so you can see it better. And I'm literally just doing like this much of the end. So that is not very much of the end, and just the tip. So there we go. Putting it on nice and heavy because I do want the paint underneath is still, it's still drying. It's mostly dry, but it's not completely dry. So I don't want the gold to be sort of muddied by the brown sugar that I put on. And so what I can do is if I put the gold, slather the gold, if you will, on, paint it on heavily, it will not mix with any paint that might still be wet from painting these the last time I saw you, which is not that long ago. So this is going to be a briefer episode. Sorry for going so long I'm not sorry. I apologize though for going longer last time. I wanted to get as much as I could done while with you. No, that's not going to make that a regular thing of me being off screen, but this does, I know, get a little tedious just watching me put paint on quills. You are welcome to fast forward. Please do share with your friends or whomever on Facebook. You're welcome to share. Encouraged to share. Who knows? Somebody may see this and go, oh, that's exactly what I needed to see today. You may be that person. Well, I hope you are. I hope this may be one of these episodes will sort of inspire you to do something different, to do something fun. My sister Terry had mentioned, she did a comment on here. Hi, Terry. And she said that, because I was talking about the aprons that I made for our pottery class, which starts tomorrow. I'm so excited. I've always wanted to throw. I did it once in high school. Fabulous art programs in Mill River Union High School, where I went to school in Vermont. And the art teacher was just fabulous. I was also lucky in Shrewsbury Elementary School with Gracie Brigham. I was one of the really super lucky ones to have Gracie Brigham as an elementary school teacher. She was my 5th grade teacher and is one of the most, quite honestly, one of the most incredible artists I've ever met. Her work is so brilliant and has been so consistently really good my whole life. Like literally my whole life. I'm 52. She's absolutely brilliant. So anyway, so I was lucky with really cool, great art teachers. And in Mill River, I threw pottery once. I had a wonderful art teacher who was basically she recognized talent and nurtured it incredibly and created a safe space for everyone to be able to explore their different talents and who they were and have friends and do stuff. And it was very cool. We did gallery showing, the Chaffee Art Gallery, where some of my work was, and all of our work was featured there in an exhibit, which was the first time I ever had an exhibit, which was super encouraging and just a neat experience that, you're in high school and your art is out there. I had a couple pieces. Max Lebrecq had some piece, Max being a fabulous artist, brilliant artist, just so freakishly talented at such a young age. It's absolutely amazing to me. When that talent just is, he's always had that brilliant eye, that brilliant hand, and the ability to do really cool art. So he just has that eye and the ability to do it. So I'm excited, though, that Terry was inspired to make another apron from the one where I mentioned that I was making aprons for our pottery class. So I found a online crossover apron pattern and made aprons for Lee, Larry, and me. I don't know if Lee will like it. He's gonna try it. He's cool. He's game with it. He's like, yeah, I'll try it, see if I like it. If I don't, I won't use it. Like, yeah, that's cool. We'll just have an extra apron. But it's really cute because like our pottery stuff, we're taking it at Junk Pot Pottery and Junk Pot Pottery Studio in West Hartford. And it's down the sort of southern part of West Hartford, southwest part, I think. No, southeastern. Yeah, southeastern side, West Hartford. I'm gonna put a little bit more. I am using, just in case you didn't see, the bright brass. Yeah, so we're getting ready to do that, which is very, very exciting. And she was saying in a comment, and you're welcome to comment. I would love it if you did comment. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, what you find freaky, and I will respond in some way, shape, or form. I will either thumbs you up or love you with a big heart. But I love seeing the comments. And she said that she was inspired to sheet the way that she made her own apron, and she loves her apron, but she's thinking about how to modify it. so that it's sort of easier to sew with her edging and stuff like that. And I'm like, hell yeah, that's right. So you make one and then you go, I kind of like this. Or you have one and you go, I kind of like this, but I wish it was a little different. Well, make it different. Modify it. Make it fit you. They make them to fit people, maybe not your person, however. Trust me, I've made enough clothes in this lifetime to know that each individual is so completely different shaped. I used to make clothing when I lived in Kansas City many, many, many years ago. I had my own clothing line, a brief clothing line that I really enjoyed. And sewed custom pieces as well as it's when I did some runway modeling and stuff like that, which was really fun. Did a bunch of print modeling and everything. TV, blah, 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 all of that stuff and that. But while I was doing a lot of that and really figuring out what I was going to go into, which I, of course, ended up in opera performing, I had my own clothing line for women. And it was comfortable clothing. I mean, it was nothing special, really, I don't think. But it was something that was a little unique at the time, which is kind of weird. But it was for full-figured gals who wanted to be comfortable but look beautiful. Well, there's a concept, right? Well, back then, if you will, 25 years ago, more than that, there really wasn't there weren't good clothes for ladies who were not pencil thin. There were styles out there, but they weren't really made to be able to fit a woman who was not a model. There were, of course, but it was hard to come by them. A well-designed, well-constructed, nice clothing that was flattering as well. So I created a brief line of clothes, of women's clothes, that were all those things, that I thought were all those things at least. And as a man, I was like, oh, I think this is what it is. Well, then I, got gigs, I don't know what you call it. I got commissions I got hired to do a bunch of clothes for women, from the women when they found out I was tailoring and doing things like that. Seamstressing, if you will. Seamstering. I was a seamster. We never knew what to call me. Was I a seamster? Was I a tailor? Was I a designer? I was a designer, that's for sure. That was the easy part, but not all the clothes I did or made or edited, if you will, were my designs. So we came up with I was a tailor or a seamster, which makes it sound like I'm a gangster, but that's about as far from a gangster as you can get. But so it was really fun, and that line was really cool to come up with my own. But what I did figure out was take somebody else's design. I'm not an original person. I don't have original ideas. I take what is commonly out there and I turn it on its head. That is typically what I do. You may be like, what the hell are you talking about? Look at what you're working on. It's completely original. Well, is it though? I was inspired by somebody else. And in our world, I'm not really one to sort of accept it for the way it is. I want to improve upon it when I see and I'm inspired by something. However, that inspiration is vital and essential for me. So I hope I can be just a small bit of that inspiration to you, and you go, oh, wow, he did this, and he was talking about this. I'm now inspired to do this, which is take my idea, please take it, and run with it wherever you want to go. The deal is, it's like nothing's really, that original. I'm not patenting any of my ideas. Patents are great for things, and they're great for intellectual property, and the ownership and things like that. It's very important. But for me, inspiring other people to do better, to explore, to be basically a Star Trek person, to go to the new worlds, you know, all that stuff. That's my gig. That's my happy place. All right, these are all done with the gold on the ends, and I'm seeing a couple of them that I forgot or I missed back here to touch them up. Oh my God, this is so pretty. It's like very lustry. It's got this beautiful, and I kind of like putting on a little bit extra on these because it's really bringing that gold. It's, you know, solidifying it right down on the tips. It's very, very cool. I am very happy with that. So now I'm gonna wash that out a little bit. Remember, drag the brush, drag. I'm not chunking, I'm dragging. I know I harp on this, but it is very important because when you don't have a million brushes and you're not lucky enough to have a friend who gave you a box full of brushes, literally, he gave me a box full of brushes. God bless him, Michael, thank you so much. You are going to have brushes that you want to save and that you want to make last as long as possible. So by doing that, you need to treat them well. And you treat them well by not abusing them, right? All right, so here's another brush. This is the one I'm going to use for the tips. I'm going to get my orange going here. And I have about 6 minutes left before I'm going to be called up to dinner. Because those tots will be ready. So I'm just going to go and I'm going to hit the ends. I'm going to need to hold these to stabilize them. Try not to get my hands covered in orange paint just because I'm about to go and actually eat. And that may not actually happen. So I'm going to put it on heavy, and because it's an open foam on the ends, I'm going to glop it on. Glippity gloppity gloop. And I'm going to, there we go, you can see that. Try to do it so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to coat the ends, those angled ends, with a good layer, thick amount of orange paint. Now it's not really soaking in, but it will be sort of sucked up into that foam. Go good. So it is going to need to have a significant amount so that it stays orange and doesn't just go back to being silver. So as I do that, glop it right on there, we go, get it right in those pores. So it's going to seem like it covers it. It's not covering the ends. When it dries, it still looks porous, which is actually a cool texture I like. So it works out very well. Like I mentioned, I did this on the other masks. Oh, and for my next episode, I found the other funky mask that I did a couple years ago for Halloween in Provincetown. And you've seen... All right, I'll be right up. Thank you. It's time for dinner. I love that we have a chef. Yes, Larry is a chef. He went to chef school, whatever that is, culinary school, and graduated and the whole deal. And it's kind of nice. Not kind of nice, it's pretty freaking awesome is what it is. To have somebody who really plans meals. It's such a foreign concept to Lee and I. We are always just like, we'll grab what we gotta grab because we're going to rehearsal. You know, our whole lives we're going to rehearsal. And anybody who's a performer can relate to. What are you having for dinner? I don't know. It's whatever I can grab on the way, or I'll grab something else at night at like 9 o'clock at night when rehearsal is out. So I'm gonna have to say adieu to you and you. And I'm gonna continue this later on with the orange and the tips. Otherwise, I'm gonna get yelled at for not coming up. And I hope I'm gonna continue painting while I do this, just to get more of them done. I hope you have a wonderful day. And as Sir Elton John says, I know I keep repeating this, but it's worth repeating. Put more love out in the world. There's not enough love in the world, and I completely agree with that. People are too harsh. I am too hard on other people. I am too hard on myself. Let's turn this more. And I don't give myself the space. I'm getting a lot better at it because I'm trying to practice it as much as possible. And you don't get better at something unless you actually practice it. Don't forget that. Give yourself time to learn it and to integrate it and to make it part of your life so that your reaction isn't a knee-jerk reaction, negative, bombastic one. Can you believe I just said bombastic and I used it correctly? Boom! Yeah, that's right. But to have a reaction that is healthy for you, and you may say like, well, bombastic reaction is healthy for me. Well, is it? I mean, is it? So anyway, all right, I gotta go because otherwise I'm gonna get yelled at. I hope you have yelled at in the best way. A wonderful day, and put more love out in the world. Like and subscribe. And you can always play this at 1.25, 1.5, and put on closed captions. I've enabled them. And you can work your way through and see the progress as we go. I'm going to be putting Orange on here, and he is definitely coming along. Oh, yeah. So looking better and better. All right, coolio. Have a fabulous day, and give yourself space. Breathe in. Breathe out. And now try to react. It's a different reaction than if you just react. All right? That's to yourself as well as others. Start with yourself, and then it'll go off. It'll like transfer to others. Bye. Have a great day.